Hey, what is up guys? Guitar here, welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. Alright, today, with the release of Zhongli and Xinyan, so I've been testing them out and I want to talk a little bit about their skills because, expectations versus reality, and I guess Zhongli wasn't what I expected him to be. Alright, so again, if you guys are not familiar, you can press the F5 button, right? And then you get to, make sure you go like that. Alright, very cool. Okay, so I've already tested out Zhongli and I've already tested out Xinyan. Both of them are pretty cool actually. But I want to talk about Zhongli first. And after testing Zhongli out, there's those skills preview that they've already done earlier, okay, in the Genshin Impact official video and forums. And a lot of you guys did told me in the previous video that his Q is going to be spammable. And I did not believe that at first, but after using him, wow, he's actually surprisingly better than I thought. Alright, so his E skill or his elemental skill is very confusing because there's two versions, right? So there's one version where you can drop down this construct, you can climb on this if you want to, or you can just use this to defend against attacks. You can hide behind this. And this thing, can you guys see it resonates? So basically it will deal small geo damage to enemies nearby. The geo damage is just very subtle. It's not meant for that particular reason. Alright, so you're not going to deal anything significant with it for sure. But you can deal massive damage if you hold his E skill, which is this particular one. So this creates a special shield surrounding him that can absorb damage, of course, similar to Noel's E skill. So yeah, this is pretty cool. If you look at the talents, alright, it's mentioned right here, alright. So the Stone Steely deal AoE geo damage, and it resonates with other geo constructs as well. I thought that was pretty cool. So if you already have a Ningguang built, or if you already built your Geo MC Traveler, so this is going to be very interesting. The synergy with those two, alright, is going to deal more damage than before. Alright, so the Stone Steely is considered a geo construct and can be climbed. Alright, so the Shield of Jade, this is the interesting one. So this shield, of course, the damage absorption scales based on Zhongli's max HP. So it looks like Zhongli is going to be built a little bit towards the HP side, because not only this, there's one more skill, I'm going to talk about it shortly. Okay, so absorbs geo damage more effectively, 250% more, so it causes AoE geo damage. So apparently if there are nearby targets with the geo element, it will drain a large amount of geo element from a maximum of 2 such targets. Alright, this one doesn't cause damage, but it absorbs, sort of like absorb their shield from them. Alright, this is the thing that surprises me, this particular skill. Alright, it causes petrification, it deals massive geo damage, and the energy cost is only 40. I was like, what? Cooldown is 12 seconds. I've never seen an elemental burst with this speed of a cooldown and this low energy cost. So that means this is going to be pretty spammable. You can spam this constantly and the skill damage is really high. Petrification duration is decent, alright? And if you look at his talents, alright, once you reach Ascension level, Ascension rank 1, right? So this thing is pretty cool. Alright, so when Jade Shield takes damage, it will fortify. So fortified characters have 5% increased shield strength and can stack up to 5 times and last until the Jade Shield disappears. And this skill, Planet Befall, which is this skill right here, his Elemental Burst, deals 33% of Zhongli's max HP, additional damage. So it looks like if you have Zhongli, I think the ideal way of building him is to go HP. And I actually do appreciate it because so far all the characters have been focusing towards the attack, crit damage. So he's going to be a little bit different. But let me see if I can show his skill. So you can use this, alright, and then you can hold E. As you can see, it deals a little bit of damage, not much, about 800. Alright, so if I hold this E, boom, look, it destroys the Helicurl's shield. It's crazy, man. Alright, look at this charge attack. Boom. I like it, it's pretty cool. Alright. So again, I do think if I were to build Zhongli, of course, I'm still deciding if I want to pull for him, to be honest. Like, he is strong, I'm not gonna lie. He is really strong. But I don't have any other Geo character to have him synergize with, so I thought like that's going to be a deterring factor. Alright, let me try and stack them all together right here. I'm going to use the Q, and then you guys can see the damage. 22,000. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is insane. Alright, so usually the idea here is just to spam stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool. So this is a Geo construct, so if I do this, so now they will both, oh, can you guys see? So they both resonate and deal double the amount. Okay, so it doesn't just, okay, that is pretty interesting. So you don't really need a Geo element ally, you just need a Geo enemy, if that makes sense, to be able to benefit from this. Alright, that is pretty cool actually. So again, let's spam this. The AoE is pretty huge and looks like it's dealing consistently 22,000 damage, which is a lot, man. And it's spammable as well, like I mentioned. Alright, so let's bring that thing down. Wait, where's my construct? Hey my friend, can you create a construct? Alright, let's use Lisa for a bit, and then let's use Zhongli. Boom. Okay, when that thing comes down and hits an enemy, it doesn't look like it deals much at all. Like, Geo MC's damage is just going to be much more higher, right? So I don't think like you can consider Zhongli like a damage dealer or a main damage dealer. I think he's not meant to be. So ideally, if you build Zhongli or if you pull for Zhongli, you need to have the expectation, alright, that he is going to be a support. Alright, let me get rid of this guy. Boom. So let's get rid of this shield, and then we can see how much Zhongli deals on the Q. 22,000? Yeah, about 22,000. It seems to be consistent. It seems to be consistent. And petrification, man. I like this charge attack thing. It moves you forward. So yeah, one more thing that I want to talk about shortly, alright, before we end this challenge. Let's go to this particular talent. The first one, normal attack Rain of Stone. You can see this is level 8. If you look at the percentage here, okay, the scaling or the damage right here, his damage is slightly on the lower side. I believe Xiangling has higher. So let's look at this. Level 8, 52, 53, 65, right? So this is how much my Xiangling has, level 6. You can see my Xiangling at level 6, alright, is already higher than Zhongli's level 8. So I do think that if you want to focus on physical damage build for spear or polearm users, you're better off going with the Xiangling. I don't think Zhongli is gonna, I mean, you can still make him work for sure, but if you want to go that physical damage route, just do keep in mind that your damage is going to be lacking when you compare yourself with the Xiangling. So I do think that if you build Zhongli, it's better off to focus on giving him more HP percent artifacts. Alright, that way you can stack and increase his elemental burst, right? So let's talk about Xinyan. Now she is also going to be interesting because I thought like she was going to be very focused towards defense, but after using her, surprisingly she can have multitude of builds, and I actually do like it. Okay, so if you guys are not familiar yet, Xinyan, her elemental skill, alright, is very interesting. Alright, it depends on how many enemies you hit, and this will create several different shield. Alright, so level 1 shield ad lib will basically happens when you hit 0 to 1 enemies, and level 2 lead in when you hit 2 enemies. Level 3, okay, is when you hit 3 enemies. But once you go further, which I'm going to talk about later, you don't have to worry about level 3. Level 2 will be level 3 for you. Okay, it gets confusing, but the thing is, the best shield that you can get level 3, it deals DOT pyro damage to nearby enemies. And I thought that was pretty cool. Okay, so the shield has following thing. Alright, so when unleashed, it gives you the pyro property. So that can be quite scary. You know why? Because if enemy is electric or electro type, they hit you with electro type, you are gonna get overload and you're probably gonna fly away, like far away. Alright, so that's something that you need to take note, I think. So when unleashed, infuses Signia with Pyro. So it has 250% damage absorption effectiveness against Pyro damage. Okay, so why do I say this level 2, level 3 thing does not matter? Because once you go into getting this other talent, the passive talent, decrease the number of enemies sweeping furrow must hit to trigger each level of shielding. So instead, once you get her up to level 40 or 50, I think when you unlock this, so the shield level 3 means you need to hit 2 enemies, which is not that hard considering that you can easily sweep around and just, you know, surround the enemies and hit 2 of them. Alright, so this Reef Revolution is pretty interesting. It deals physical damage, but also pyro damage on the explosion. So it deals both sources of damage. I do think that going pyro damage bonus like goblet wise is going to be the best build for Xinyan. But looking at this, it does say that shields absorption scales based on Xinyan's defense. So I think giving her defense might not be that bad. So she can go a lot of route. She can go the physical damage build. She can go like pyro damage build. She can also go the defense build if she's support, and maybe that's how you want to build her ideally, because it looks like you most likely will just use her shield, alright? And then you'll be swapping her out. So this particular skill, now that's rock and roll. Shielded by sweeping furrow, meaning this elemental skill where she has this shield, they will deal 15% increased physical damage. So I think this is okay, alright? It's not like super amazing. You are better off trying to do super conduct, but it can be good on physical damage build for sure. So let me try and showcase her. So ideally, if I hit 3 enemies like this, so now this particular level 3 shield, you can see it deals DOT to the enemies nearby. I actually like it actually. Like this shield is better than Diona's shield, okay? Of course, they both have different purposes, right? Diona's shield is not meant for damage, it's more for protection, and also gives you movement speed and stuff. But I actually like her shield more because it's pretty spammable, I guess. And let's try out her Q. You can see it deals physical damage and a lot more pyro damage. You can see probably 1 tick of physical damage and maybe like 3 ticks of pyro damage. So I think it's better overall to go the pyro damage build. That's just my opinion for sure. Of course, this is day 1 testing. Let's try and get rid of this guy. Let's use Q. And then let's see if I can get more energy. There we go. Boom. Nice. Ooh, that's a lot of pyro damage. Yeah, so I think she's gonna be really unique because number 1, she looks like she can be a main damage dealer for sure. I think it's definitely doable, and she can also be a support. But the problem is, if you build her as a support, I think it's harder to specialize her role. Alright, that's something that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so you look at that. Shield cooldown does take quite some time, so that can be something that you guys have to take note. No, that guy pushes me out. Alright, let's wait for a bit and we'll try to do the shield again. Alright, melt. Boom. So let's boom. Okay, that is a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. Again, let's have a look at her constellation and then we can talk a little bit whether or not you're gonna need more, and ideally you don't. So C1, upon scoring crit hit, increases attack speed of Xinyan's normal and charge attacks by 12% for 5 seconds. Can only occur once every 5 seconds. So every time you crit, it's going to increase her attack speed. Now again, if your Xinyan is a main damage dealer, this is super good on you. This is super good. Alright, she might be able to compete with Xiangling for the main damage dealer role. And before, you know, she was released and stuff, I thought like, nope, I don't think she's gonna be as good as Xiangling. But after looking at this, I think she actually might be. It's quite hard because Xiangling is really good, right? Xiangling is just, she has gold bar that sprays fire, and her Q is probably her elemental burst. It's probably one of the strongest for any 4 stars out there as well. I wouldn't say it's a must, but it's definitely a good bonus, right? Increase your attack speed. It's not your damage, but your attack speed. Now the C2, alright, Reef Revolution's physical damage has its crit rate increased by 100%. Alright, and you will basically form a shield level 3 when you cast this. So I don't think this is necessary, because physical damage, like you guys saw, is only 1 tick or 2 tick, but the pyro damage has more ticks. So that one will ideally give you more damage in return. But it is cool to have it 100% crit rate, so you don't have to focus on crit rate, you can just focus on crit damage, and you might be able to deal insane damage as well. So that's something to consider. So C3 increase her E skill by 3 levels. Alright, the C4, Constellation 4. Sweeping Furrow's swing damage decreases opponent's physical resistance by 15%. This is pretty cool, but I would honestly prefer this to be pyro resistance. I think her pyro damage deals more. But yeah, if you want to go the physical damage build, I think perhaps that's a doable route, and going for this, it might help. 12 seconds is a big boost. And going to the last one, I don't think this is actually needed. Alright, C6 decrease the stamina consumption of Xinyan's charge attacks by 30%, and also your charge attacks will gain an attack bonus equal to 50% of her defense. Now keep in mind, this is only for her charge attacks. So meaning that you have to do this, swing, 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 swing. If it's normal attack, you know, you won't get the bonus defense or whatever, right? So I'm not sure about that. Like I think I prefer her normal attack. She's really built towards the charge attack if you go all the way to C6, and then there is when you also get, you know, the defense bonus. And before C6, I feel like there's no reason to go defense percent for her at all. But once you get her to C6, then, you know, that's something that you might look into. It's definitely going to be beneficial for her. So yeah, overall my thoughts on Xinyan is like, I think she can compete with Xiangling. Will she be better than Xiangling? I highly doubt so. Alright, her damage is there for sure, but it's a mixture of physical and pyro damage bonus, and also a bit of like shield to absorb stuff. So she can fit a lot of roles, and she can fit a lot of teams. I think overall, I'm more excited for Xinyan, and I think Xinyan is going to fit in my party much better than Zhongli. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Overall, let me know what you guys think of Xinyan or Zhongli, or if you guys are going to pull for them. As always, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a nice day. Goodbye.